Hi! Konbanwa! Good evening, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. My name is Anzu, and I'm an apricot that delivers packages from me to you. So, there has been some internet problems over at my end. So instead of a live stream, I've come to pre-record, and since this is, I think, technically the first true pre-recorded video I've made, I'm sorry if it's not that great. I don't intend also to edit this, so this is gonna be like one full go. Alright. Okay. Feel free to comment in the comments while you watch this or after you watch. I do check comments and I love replying to people. So yeah, I miss everybody, but this is what we can do for now, ne? I'll pretend you're still there with me, ne? Ne? Alright, so we'll be continuing case 1. Alright, I think we're near the end, so let's do this. Hooray! I think the court would like to hear the defense view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Korekuta-san's koban and hid it under the stake? So most likely it's Mr. Yesanosa, because we learned that they were sitting together, so most likely he's the one who stole it, honestly. Okay, present. What was our button again? My webcam's blocking the button. Okay, R. Obviously, it can only be you, Sergeant Yesanosa. Whoa! How dare you monster! Monster? I stole that koban, did I? I'm the master thief of the carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me! It was Aido! Aido is the mastermind behind all this. Why is blaming it on the baby? Eh? Everyone's like, ha. You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son? An innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. Oh my. Ugh. Oh. Clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap, clippity clap! Oh my god, is his spine okay? Oh, look at the baby. Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Yasanosa, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. Even the baby salutes, so cute. So father and son. Hey, baby Uhtred, what are you doing there? No, baby, no. It's my doggy. Even in pre-recorded videos, he's a little mischievous, ne? Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays for those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remain in place. And I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living. Yes. Ugh! All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son! That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant? The place is heavy with money! Every 3 days I'd go there and do reconnaissance? Reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly unbelievable. And your target that day was the old man and his koban? Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. Oh, a veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the steak. I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bing! Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Idle too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. That's my default voice for ouchie. Oh, I wonder who's saying this. This is ridiculous. Oh, it's the girl. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time? Well, Miss Brett.
Of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency.
Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
Nonsense, is it?
And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day. Inosuke, what's the matter with you? There's no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just, something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard.
Sorry?
You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over. Wait, Miss Brett! What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction?
IGIARI! What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? Finding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction.
Hey, wait, I'm kinda lost. What do you mean? Eh?
I'm going to need to see evidence, counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. Hold on. Eto.
Is it this? Like, to show that there's actually a spoon and fork? I mean a fork and knife? Is that what we have to say? I'm honestly not sure. That's the only thing I can point out as kind of weird in her testimony or words.
Let's try.
The photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred? Oh, sorry. I pressed that by accident. Comment. What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table. The steak that Miss Brett has been eating before the professor was killed? Yes, go on. More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Notice what exactly, counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at this steak. In particular, the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. Oh, I lost my voice there. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
IGIARI! But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was... whatever you say, dear lady.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
Of course. This will all be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place.
I've heard enough! You irritating little spectacled samurai relic!
Of course. Oh, dear lady!
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implication these teeth marks in the steak have for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? It's okay, my little doggy, I'm fine. Yes. Now at last, it's all come together. Hey, doggy, doggy. Wow, even in recordings, you're kind of noisy. It's okay. The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery.
Wow. ちょっと待って。
Even in recordings, this happens. I'll be right back. Let me just release my dog into the wild. Well, he wants to go to the living room. Just a moment. I'll just open my door. Oh god, some tangled. Nani kore? Wow, my headphone wire is attacking me. Alright, everybody. This feels exactly like how my live streams go. I go out of nowhere just for my doggy, my child. Okay, stay the tread. Okay, behave. Oh, I do think he reacts a lot to when I do high-pitched sounds or loud sounds. He thinks I'm dying or in pain. Yeah, so pardon, even if in the recordings this happens. Ne? Alright. The reason why the blood stain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. Am I being too dramatic? I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, counsel. Oh, are you gonna say but? Ah, but what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Oh, look at the angry swan.
Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of that phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats. How can you be so sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Has it been what?
But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
IGIARI! This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already. And you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it.
IGIARI!
I don't, but there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case. Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair?
Well, I'm gonna guess it's her.
I mean, who else, right? I don't think anyone else kept the utensils. Counsel, I'm disappointed. As this is likely your last chance, I would have expected you to be taking it more seriously.
Wait, why it's not her?
It seems you need some waking up. Perhaps a penalty will help you focus your mind. Now we've come this far. There's nothing more to say. There's one person in particular who's provided us with various pieces of evidence already. You have plenty of clues that point to the right answer. This is the last act in this trial, and you have center stage, Ryunosuke.
Wait, who?
Very well. Okay, he's saying the same thing. Who possesses the evidence? If it's not her, it's either this guy or this guy. Who possesses the conclusive evidence? Well, if he collected everything and he's as good as he says, he should have it, right? Well, last try, let's see. Maybe I'll get my first game over. My brain's a bit not working. Oh, it is the right one. The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's right. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this stake with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. And as well as admitting to stealing Korekuta-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Attention! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
But that makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table.
IGIARI!
Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. I'm sorry if I lost my words there. Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over.
Whoa, everyone's silent, honey.
Mm-mm. Uh, you did switch the plates? Oh, oh,
Well, after it happened, uh,
Bane.
when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my stick and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. Whoa. Pushes the baby down. With military precision and timing, I switched my stick with the one on the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done. However, fear not, prosecutor-son.
What now?
I swear, on the brass buttons of my uniform, that is all I did, sir.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Hoi! So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Oh, yes? Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both. That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot. What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat? It can't have the slightest bearing on the case. No, you're not wriggling your way out of this time, lady.
He's protective of his wife.
I mean his best friend. I beg your pardon? Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no? Huh. You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason the defense asked to see that plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. Thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well.
That's right. Support your wife. I mean your boyfriend. I mean your best friend, your best boy.
And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident.
Stop wiping your blood on pure white cloth.
Yes, sir!
He's so happy. It's like his shining moment of his career. Oh, so cute.
Sorry for keeping you.
There it is, there it is.
Here's the other steak and its split. Please, feel free to examine it.
Bam, bam, bam.
The blood stain. It's clearly visible. Look! Hoi! Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me.
In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim.
It can't be.
In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everybody knows by now who that person is. That's right, Miss Giselle Brett.
It's you!
Is she gonna break down?
Outdone by a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No. No. No!
Oh!
I don't know how to voice this, honestly. What the hell? Nani kore? Oh, look at the cute little chimcan. Chikinagis! More chicken nuggies. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth, this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using curare. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So, you planned to kill the professor knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because curare is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water. Oh wait, she's English woman, right? One tiny sip of his water, and it would be all over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. And that would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair, such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. A plan? Oh, sorry, this is Kazuma. A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man? I happen to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use the fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag and my own pistol concealed under my skirt.
Under your skirt?
So I was right. There were 2 guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Placed where you were sure that I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, bang! That's when you shot the professor with your own gun, even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around. Because of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he'd picked up the gun. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Man, Ouchie's sweating like buckets here. He's gonna make a Lake Ouchie or something. Your Excellency. Yes? I wonder, might I speak with you in private later? Later? I shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. Oh, she just faded away.
Fade to black.
But I don't like the fact that she's going to talk with the judge. I feel like she's gonna get away with it. I hope not. I really hope not. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement?
This can't be. Taketsuchi Ouchi does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie student.
You'd better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Huh? What? Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten.
You've become conceited with age, counsel. But the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. He's so proud of his husband. His friend. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. cool. That was so cool.
1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Aochi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan.
He's so cool. Oh my god. Okay, back to the game, Anzu. Focus, girl, focus.
He's not wrong though. Like, Aochi's descendant is Mr. Pain. For those who probably played the Ace Attorney games would know who that is. He still loses to Phoenix, right?
This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, Yu Ryunosuke Naruhodo presented an excellent case.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western idea of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law waits. But what will it look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kasuma Asogi. Yes? After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency.
What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden?
Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Yes?
In you I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Whoa.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo not guilty.
Hooray! Clap, clap, pachi, pachi! Come on, Mina-chan!
Come on, apricots, let's clap. Woohoo! Look at the sakura. Wow, beautiful, beautiful.
This court is now adjourned.
Hooray! We are innocento!
22nd November, 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants Antechamber. Number 5. I still don't know how to read that if it's correct. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it! I defended myself and made it through the horrendous trial!
Ryunosuke,
Oh, look at that proud smile.
you finally pulled it off. Congratulations.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma.
Yeah, thank you, Kazuma.
No. It was a pleasure to watch you at work. So you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget.
Oh, who's this?
I'm gonna assume it's the professor.
Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off.
Oh god, it's the girl. Okay, wrong voice. Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
Our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much! If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out. Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate. Your father? Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. I know the voices I've given over the past 2 streams are different, so I'm sorry. Speaking of Mikotoba... Huh. Okay, this has to be the dad.
Oh, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo. You did an excellent job.
Thank you, Professor.
Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably that's when you met Dr. Wilson? Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital.
Oh, you work together?
I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan.
You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you?
Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. And cuts down anything that's in my way.
Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
That reminds me, what happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but...
Oh no, don't tell me. Is she getting away with it? What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all.
She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai.
What? Shanghai? Oh, now I want lumpiang Shanghai. For my fellow Filipinos, you know what that is. Oh, I'm disappointed. She's gonna escape.
Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that.
What? But why not? I don't know who's speaking. I'm gonna assume it's the girl.
It's a matter of consular jurisdiction.
Oh, it's someone else. Inspector Hosonaga.
It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch.
I must congratulate... But what's with all this, this about consular jurisdiction?
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's going to bring her to justice?
A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard.
But why a consular court?
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now. A thing of the past now that we've signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances you're right. Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that.
Oh, can't they?
Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on.
So, Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan? Well, honestly, I think it's more of a power play. Yeah, and you know, like, this is quite an insult to them. Like, it's like saying Great Britain is still more superior and doesn't really recognize Japan's law and authority, in my opinion. And I'm just speaking about the game, okay? Not like real life.
I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her.
I don't believe it.
The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case as a foreign student committing murder very seriously.
This is so unfair.
But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt that the woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink.
But Professor...
You're right. This is no time for gloomy faces.
We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. Wow, he's gonna celebrate his boyfriend's victory. I mean, his best friend's victory.
In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink.
You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you?
Let's not worry about the details for now. To La Carnival! Will you accompany us, Professor?
He's so enthusiastic.
Of course. La Carnival's food is second to none.
I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naharu Hodo-san's release. Oh yes, thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Actually, that's true. We don't know why she did it, right? No clear motive. Kazuma.
Yes, Ryunosuke?
I just wanted to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin today.
I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work.
Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. Eh? To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during the trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me.
What? Come on, be serious.
If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it, for being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat? I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you.
Get a room.
That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win?
Knowledge of the law?
No. The ability to believe.
To believe? To believe what?
A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times.
Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it.
I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes, in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in even then? Well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person.
Of course, he's your special someone, isn't he?
Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with previous little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me.
Well,
You faced seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. There's something I want to ask you actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor really. Something very important to me.
it sounds serious. What is... serious.
Oh, you're still here, are you?
You chicken blocker. How dare you ruin the moment for these two? Hosonaga-san, I thought we were in the same page. And the same team. Why you chicken blocker, huh? Rooster blocker, why? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga.
I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. For those who don't know what a rickshaw is, it's like a thing that you ride. It's like a carriage, but it only seats like 1 to 2 people usually. And then it's a person who pulls that thing instead of a horse. Thank you, we'll be right there.
Rooster blocker. Ha! Rooster blocker, Hosonaga.
Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory.
And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget.
Ah yes, that too.
Oh.
I wonder what he was gonna say to Ryunosuke. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Mikotoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still... It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through the trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life.
Owarimasu. The end of part 1 or case 1. Nice.
Save your current progress of...
Oh, hell yeah.
Alright, so minasan, I think it would be nice to cut this game off here so that we can start episode 2 on a whole new video or stream if ever the internet improves. But just a quick announcement for this week, my streams will be cancelled. Instead, I'll try to release pre-recorded videos, ne?
Hi.
Alright, so let's just press yes on this one. Okay, so if you enjoyed or you'd like to give me some support, please punch that like button, poke that subscribe button with a cute smile on your face, and if you'd like to hear or see notifications if I'm live here on YouTube or if I have anything uploaded, feel free to poke that what do you call it again? Oh no, I'm not used to YouTube. That little bell notification. There we go. Yeah. All right. Feel free to leave a comment as well. I would like to know what you thought about the case or whatever happened in this episode of our Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Hi. So, Otsu Anzu. Let's do our outro together. All right. If you know it, say it with me. If you don't, listen well so we can do it together next time. All right. And as always,
Ka-tunk. So for those who don't know, I'm a delivery woman, so I gotta deliver myself back home, you know? Yeah.
all right. And as always, I'll see you in the next package delivery.
Bye bye. Alright, time to sit down right here. I think this should be good. Feel free to check my other stuff here on YouTube. I'm also over at Twitch, ne? Hi. Bye bye. Boop. Okay, I should fit in this box this time. 何かな?
Wow, my head is still popping out. I need bigger boxes, deeper boxes.